It's 101.9 The Mix, McCabe and Jenny, and we're now at Reggies with Mr. Max McNown. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing good. This is before your Lolla Aftershow. And actually, you're doing a sound check with some mixed listeners, so thank you for that.
Yes. Yep.
But first time for Lollapalooza this year?
Yeah, first time ever. Yeah, I've never even attended, but I've heard about it, and I have heard the crowds are incredible. And I've actually already seen some video from yesterday's performances, and it makes me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. There's so many people.
Well, you were saying to me that you saw a set that would be the same time after your set with like 40,000 people or 70,000 people?
Yeah, I think it's roughly 60,000 is what my manager estimated yesterday.
It's going to be crazy.
And it was about 45 minutes after my set. So it was a little later, but should be a good crowd no matter what. And my job stays the same, so...
Well, we saw you earlier this year. You were at Shuba's, and it was a packed room. How has your life changed since that show?
As I mentioned earlier, the Shuba's show was one of the last smaller club shows that we played, so it kind of has a special place in my heart for that reason. But yeah, it's just been it's felt a little bit like a rocket ship, but it's been one step at a time, so it doesn't feel too overwhelming. I'm just doing my best to take care of my body and my mind, because if that goes, then I can't perform for anybody.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's been a process. Like, let's take it back. I mean, were you busking in, like, Santa Monica?
Yeah, San Clemente.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Take us back to that. Like, I mean, how hard is that to get people's attention to, like, give me some money? And,
yeah, yeah, and it's not even, I didn't even start, with my guitar case open. I wasn't planning on trying to get money or anything. My goal was to prove to myself that I could do it, and just prove to myself that I could sing in front of people. And I probably overquote this, but one of my friends, when he was encouraging me to go down and play, he said, worst case, nobody cares. Best case, nobody cares. If you go in with that mindset and you just do this for you, and you don't do this to, win anybody over, I just did my best, and I feel like that's what I've been doing ever since,
Well, for you, everyone cares, because you have one of the biggest songs that we play on the mix, A Lot More Free.
Thank you.
How has that song done wonders for your career?
That song has been really fascinating because A Lot More Free was written about one thing, and it has become something that is just so much larger than anything that I could have imagined. And so the craziest part of A Lot More Free for me is hearing the stories from fans, especially at meet and greets or sound checks like this. I mean, people will tell the most gut-wrenching stories about how it relates to their own life. And my dad always told me when I was younger, and still today, he would tell me that when you release a song, you're giving it to the people that listen to it. You're giving it to the fans. And so when people tell me all those stories, it's not like I'm sitting there like, oh, you don't know what the song's about, because that is what the song's about to them. So with your guys' help, A Lot More Free has reached so many different people and touched so many lives, and it's beyond comprehension for me. I'm just along for the ride, and I'm so grateful.
Well, we always do like a good story behind the song. Like, what is the initial story behind A Lot More Free?
I don't go too in-depth about it, just because everybody involved is healed, and I've come to a really good place with the person that it was written about. But it's just heartbreak, betrayal. It was a relationship that ended maybe 4 months before the song was written, and I always say that writing A Lot More Free was my personal claim to freedom. And so when we were in the writing room and I was belting it out, it was getting all of that out of me. And when you listen to the song, the whistle to the harmonica is meant to symbolize freedom and pain. Or the harmonica to the whistle. So the harmonica is this kind of harsher sound. It's this kind of just chest into the harmonica, and it's meant to be representative of the pain. And then when you escape, after all that pain, you escape the unhealthiness that you were in. That's the whistle symbolic of freedom.
So how would you describe your music? Because when I first listened to you, I told everyone it's kind of like sad guy rock.
Sad guy rock. I love it. I've never heard that.
Men in their feels, but how would you describe your kind of music?
Yeah, sad guy rock is accepted. You're welcome to call it sad guy rock. Whenever I talk about genre, I always defer and try and talk about like the artists that influenced me. So Amos Lee and Ray LaMontagne and Jack Johnson and Zach Brown Band and Chris Stapleton and George Strait, and I have so many different people that inspire my music that whatever genre all those people together would create, I guess that's it. And so where I kind of place myself, the visual, is if there was a line between folk pop, like Noah Kahan folk pop, and country music. There's a line, there's a spectrum. Nothing's black and white, and there's a spectrum between those two genres, and I'm somewhere in between that. And it differs depending on the song. I mean, if you listen to Hindsight and Photographs, you probably would think this guy's country. And then if you listen to Better Me For You, even more country. And then you listen to A Lot More Free, this dude's folk, you know, and you just don't really... I just kind of go wherever people choose to put me, and I try not to specify anything.
Well,
no pigeonholing.
She puts you in sad guy rock.
Yeah, which
that's
sad guy rock. But honestly, creative. Points for creativity. I've never heard that before.
Okay, now that you've been to Chicago a few times, okay, real quick, couple questions. Do you like deep dish or thin crust?
I would prefer on like a... Like, deep dish is a journey. It takes you on a journey.
Gotta commit.
And I have an interesting story about that. So I would say on like a day-to-day basis, if I was going to choose pizza, probably thin crust. And I know that's probably offensive to you, but and I apologize. But
it's fine.
What is the primary deep dish spot here? What is it called?
It's going to be like Giordano's.
Yes, Giordano's. Yep. Okay, that is what it was. So for Christmas, this last Christmas, I was sent from my booking agency Giordano's.
Yep, pizzas.
Yeah,
you can send them. Yeah.
2 deep dish pizzas, 1 pepperoni and 1 cheese, and I ate both of them in one night.
What?
And so
where did it go?
So I think I started hallucinating. No, I don't know. Yeah. Well.
Did you write a song about that?
Yeah. In fact, that's what A Lot More Free is about.
I was gonna say.
After the experience of getting that out of my system, I was a lot more free. No, but I loved it. I mean, it went down so easy, and it felt so tough later on because I don't think I was supposed to handle that much. And so I'd say it's like a holiday. Like, if you're going to eat, like, especially 2 full-size deep dish pizzas, you got to be in for the journey, and you got to be willing, and you got to want it. And whereas, you know, thin crust is kind of like wimpier. It's like, I'll go and I'll have a little slice of that thin crust New York style pizza. But like, if you're deep dishing, you got like, you sit in front of it, you talk to it for a second, at the table, and you really think about it and you process.
There you have it. There you have it, folks. Max McNown and Deep Dish Pizza. We can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk with us before, your after show party tonight, and then also taking the stage tomorrow at Lollapalooza. Thank you, Max McNown with 101.9.
Thank you for playing my music. I appreciate you.